6, you may already recognize him as the Chiefs Superfan, known as the X Factor. Well, this year he's going to double down on the Royals to be a Superfan for that team too. And although all of that takes a lot of time, his main focus is using his local fame to raise money for kids in need in Kansas City. And now he hopes it will start to spread across the country. Chiefs Superfan, the X Factor. The X Factor. Factor. The X 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 Factor.
Hello, Ballslingers Fantasy Football League. Chief Superfan X Factor here, Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee, and the guy that helped bring 2 Guinness World Records at Arrowhead Stadium. My good buddy Matt sent in this request for me to roast all the rest of you Ballslingers. I think I'm saying that right. Slingers. Anyways, that's a fantasy football team that I have not heard of yet. I do a lot of fantasy football videos here on Cameo. And so, first and foremost, God bless you, Matt, for, thinking of me to be the honorary roasty of the rest of your guys. This was kind of confusing, your message you sent me, but I'm going to read what you said, Matt, so I can roast these other boys. So, the 2020 Fantasy Mahomes, Kelsey, I'm assuming that's who you had, Matt, was Mahomes to Kelsey. That guy right there. I don't have the Kelsey tattoo yet. That's coming very soon. I got Tyreek over here, so I'm assuming you didn't have the trifecta with Tyreek. But you say that you can't stop the Chiefs and Coach Reed. Thank God Mike traded Kelsey. Mike, what were you thinking? Who did you trade him for? Did you try that tight end out in San Francisco? Kelsey catches all those touchdowns, all those, some long ones, but he catches all those little dink slants, because guys just can't cover him in the red zone. And the Chiefs don't run the ball in the red zone unless they're right at the 1. Then they'll run it. And sometimes Patrick Mahomes runs it. But if he throws it, typically he's going to his big boy. Because the other guys, all speed dudes. Those are the dudes that scored the 70, 80-yard touchdowns. Tyreek and Hartman and Watson, Rarely do they score in the red zone. That's missed the greatest tight end in the NFL, Travis Kelsey. That's his bread and butter. And yeah, Mahomes loves to feed him. So anyways, Mike, if you get Kelsey again this year, don't trade him. The dude is a rock. He's always out there, never gets hurt. So man, that's a boy you want to keep. And, NFL defenders can't tackle him or bring him down. So you really think COVID's going to bring him down? No. Not happening. So, anyways, back to the roast. We've roasted on Mike enough. That dude probably feels like he's Mike Tyson right now after Evander Holyfield got a hold of him. Hopefully not, Mike. Hopefully that was a lot easier on you. You still have an ear. But I'll soon take that off with my voice at the end of this video. So stay tuned, Mike. But anyways, time to move on to the roast. It looks like in the playoffs, week 1 was a breeze because Matt downed Ryan with these. Poor Ryan. I can't even think of a good come on to you. You didn't trade anybody. I don't know who you were starting. But it sounds like it was a breeze, so yeah. Sorry, buddy. Week 1, though. You're out early. You get to sit on the couch like all the other NFL teams and probably your fantasy football guys, and then watch Mahomes and Kelsey wreak havoc through the fantasy football. So, in week 2 was against DD and Carson's 2 touchdowns. And I'm trying to think, Carson, who's that? That scored 2 touchdowns. Or maybe DD is Carson, and he had some player that scored 2 touchdowns. Anyways, playoffs are such a blur. I was at Arrowhead, and then at Miami, that's where the final happened versus Jerome's team. And you all thought you had me beat. Probably just like the Chiefs, you probably had some 49ers players in there, I'm assuming, Jerome. And yeah, they were playing fabulous the first 3 quarters plus till that clock hit about 7 minutes, and then 21 points, which is a lot of fantasy football points, start happening. So bingo bango, game, set, match. Yeah, I think that was Patrick Mahomes that got a couple touchdowns in there, if I remember right. Because I remember the last one was Williams, Damian. So, I see how that ended for you, Jerome. Matt literally took your heart out and ripped it while it was still beaten somewhat. But now you know. Don't sign 49ers players. Those runner-ups never make it back to the Super Bowl. So I would go with the hot hand, especially in the COVID era, and go with Chiefs players. I'm assuming you guys already had your draft, so you're locked. Matt's saying here that 2020 fantasy, my name twice on the trophy. Did you win both the regular season and then the postseason? Or wait, you're counting regular season this year and postseason? It sounds like Mahomes and Kelsey. So did you get Mahomes there, Matt? I don't know. You didn't give me enough information on this deal. But anyways, guys, hopefully I didn't roast you too bad. This won't be on Comedy Central, so nobody's going to see it unless you literally share this. But anyways, God bless you all. I hope you have an amazing fantasy football year. Now you got locker room material where you can watch this video and get pumped up. If your locker room's like mine, that's the bathroom. That's where I do my deepest thinking and motivation and stuff. So anyways, I promise you guys I'd get loud for you. So hopefully I don't make your ears bleed. Hopefully it doesn't bite your ear off, Mike. So here we go. Let's get wild. Let's get crazy. Let's have an amazing fantasy football year, Ballslingers. Woo! Granted, that wasn't as loud as typical because I got to make up for like 4 or 5 fans at Arrowhead because there's only going to be 17,000 of us at Arrowhead on Thursday night. So anyways, God bless you guys. Have a fabulous fantasy football year and go Chiefs!
The X Factor. The X Factor.